What happened there? Guys, it's time for another Autotune video. It's time. Hey guys, get out. We are gonna be comparing famous singers with and without Autotune. If you like this video, there's more where this came from. Let's get started. First off, we have Katy Perry. This is exciting. Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, born October 25, 1984. That makes her 34 years old. Known professionally as Katy Perry, is an American singer, songwriter, and television judge. Ooh, I guess that's a job now, to be a television judge. She pursued a career in gospel music as a teenager. Oh, I know about this. Perry signed with Red Hill Records and released her debut solo album, Katy Hudson. I think there's old videos of Katy Perry as Katy Hudson. Oh my god, this is when she's touring in 2001.
That's the TV has like 600 channels. I've never had that many channels in my life.
It's insane to see Katy Perry that young.
Actually, I write what I want to say to people that I can't say through my mouth, I guess.
She moved to Los Angeles the following year to venture into secular music after Red Hill ceased operations, and she subsequently began working with producers Glenn Ballard, Dr. Luke, and Max Martin. That's some really good producers. After adopting the stage name Katy Perry and being dropped by the Island Def Jam Music Group and Columbia Records, she signed a recording contract with Capitol Records in April 2007. Oh my god, she really grinded before she made it. Perry rose to fame in 2008 with her second album, One of the Boys, a pop rock record containing the singles I Kissed a Girl and Hot and Cold. Two real bangers right there, especially Hot and Cold. I Kissed a Girl also sparked controversy for its themes of lesbianism. Yeah, that's pretty funny after being like a Christian artist. Let's have a look at Katy with and without Autotune.
I'm losing my self-control. Yeah, you're starting to trickle back in. I'm losing my self-control. Yeah, you're starting to trickle back in.
Now it's pretty much identical. I mean, this is pretty much the optimal way to sing, I think, to really sound good. You're hearing just like something pretty quiet, like a piano or a guitar, and you can hear yourself in the room together with it. It takes a lot of practice to be able to sing within your monitors and stuff. I love the vocal production on this. This could be Circuit as well, possibly. Definitely one of the people I would love to end up in the studio with at some point.
Once in a while I trip up and across the line, and I think of you. Once in a while I trip up and across the line, and I think of you.
Definitely passable. The falsetto parts were a little bit like, But as I said before in this very video, falsetto can be hard.
2 years and just like that, my head still takes me back. Thought it was done, but I guess it's never really over. 2 years and just like that, my head still takes me back. Thought it was done, but I guess it's never really over.
I think that she kind of missed an opportunity there to go a little bit more power. That would have sounded good in this very setting as well. I feel like Katy Perry has something that's pretty common nowadays, which is kind of like a yelly voice. And what happens with someone that yells a bit when they sing, it does lead to a little bit less control generally. In studio versions, I really like the big voices. And when people push up a lot of weight, because you can tune it to perfection, it just sounds really good to me. However, it gets more complicated when it's a live performance and you can't tune it properly. Katy's singing alright, and you know, you never know. This seemed pretty casual. Probably before a gig or something, they set up in a bathroom. It's quirky. Ava Max. Amanda Ava Koki, born February 16, 1994. That makes her 25 years old. Is an American singer and songwriter. In 2019, her song Sweet But Psycho topped charts in several countries. Born in Wisconsin. Wisconsin makes me think of that 70s show. She competed in numerous singing competitions before she entered high school. At 14, she moved to Los Angeles in pursuit of a career in music. Man, it's crazy how many of these people are like,
Oh yeah, I'm 12, let's go.
She found the city to be overwhelming, and a year later she returned to Virginia. Then at age 17 she moved back to Los Angeles. She wanted a childhood, that's nice. After years of having demos rejected from record producers and songwriters, she met record producer Circuit. Oh, I love Circuit. He did such a great remix of a Kesha song back in the day. Oh yeah, it's Blow. That's amazing. Circuit found her at a dinner party in LA where she sang Happy Birthday to him. And they made music together that led to her getting a record deal. Let's search for Ava Max Autotune and see what comes up. Just a bunch of people roasting her like, Autotune to the Ava Max. What happened there? This was on a forum and a bunch of fans were freaking out about that there was too much autotune. And I was like, oh, this doesn't sound too tuned at all. Then it came to like over here and I was like, what is this? It was pretty obvious that this was a lip sync to begin with, but even if you are gonna tune, do better. Let's get started with the comparison.
Do you ever feel like an outcast? You don't have to fit into the format. Do you ever feel like an outcast? You don't have to fit into the format.
First off, I feel like she's really trying to be Lady Gaga, which is fine. A lot of people like Lady Gaga. I like Lady Gaga. That's a very Lady Gaga style and everything. Lady Gaga already exists. I can be a little bit like, but I guess it's fine. Singing wise, it wasn't too bad. It's a little bit pitchy.
Oh, but it's okay to be different, 'cause baby, so am I. Oh, but it's okay to be different, 'cause baby, so am I.
That was fine. She sounded pretty good. She's singing in a lower key. I don't think it's because it's easier. She probably hasn't heard the song right before, so she doesn't know that she's singing it slightly lower. Theatrical singing. The last note in that was a little bit off. She kind of saved it with a bit of vibrato, as you do.
So let me tell you about my little secret. So let me tell you about my little secret.
This dance just makes me look at her boobs. I'm sorry to say, just what it does. A lot of music videos are about making you fancy the singer, but maybe I'm just old. I just feel awkward about it.
Let me tell you about my little secret.
Tell me it's not just me. If someone's like,
Let me tell you about my little secret.
you're gonna look great.
I'm a little crazy underneath this. I'm a little crazy underneath this.
I feel like she can't really sing the falsetto-y stuff that it is originally maybe that pitch perfect, so she's avoiding it. That's something that I might actually see myself doing if I was in that situation, because falsetto is probably one of the most common places where you need a lot of tuning because it can be really hard to get perfect. Often if I see a singer live, it's the falsetto parts that will be a little bit more off. Overall, that was pretty good. Can't hate on her. She just sounds a lot like Lady Gaga. Big Lady Gaga vibe. Let's have a look at Zhavia. Carissa Zhavia Ward, born March 6th, 2001. That makes her 18 years old. Known professionally as Zhavia or Zhavia Ward. She's American from Norwalk, California. She rose to fame after competing in the singing reality television show The 4 Battle for Stardom. She placed as one of the 4 finalists. Does that mean she placed as number 4? In 2019, she performed a cover of A Whole New World with Zayn Malik for the Aladdin soundtrack. Very nice. I assume she's a very good singer, technically, if she was on one of those shows. But also the show's autotune, so you never know. Let's have a look at Zhavia. Zhavia? Is that how you say it?
Zhavia.
Zhavia. Let's have a look at Zhavia singing with and without autotune.
I grew up in Norwalk, hanging by the donor side. Didn't have a car, so we used to have to walk the block. I was only 6 years old, I was running cold bare feet when the storm started coming. I grew up in Norwalk, hanging by the donor shop. I was only 6 years old, I was running cold bare feet when the storm started coming.
Yeah, that was definitely very similar. She's a very good singer and she's used to singing under pressure because of the show and everything. Solid, very solid.
Mama worked 2 jobs, couldn't keep the fridge stocked. Used to eat popcorn for dinner with the soda pop. Mama worked 2 jobs, couldn't keep the fridge stocked. Used to eat popcorn for dinner with the soda pop.
Overall, really good. It was actually lost energy into this take compared to the last one. Still, incredible. Really good singer.
Young girl, you better go fast. This world ain't gonna hold back. Young girl, you better go fast. This world ain't gonna hold back.
That was pretty cool. I like the low voice actually, especially in the autotune version or the produced version. It was a little bit like too much air when she was singing live here. Stuff like that, like low registry, can really vary between days for me. And if you've been singing high notes for a while, then it's harder to kind of like get as much intensity from the low end for me.
And I saw it in my dreams. I knew I'd be 17, watching reality spinning around. And I saw it in my dreams. I knew I'd be 17, watching reality spinning around.
She sang it really good in the Genius interview, but overall, I feel like when things are that advanced, you gotta be really precise if you're gonna do that thing really well. And with the tuning and stuff in the autotune version, it just sounds so much better to me. Every note is like so. Okay, so here we have Jorja Smith. I love these videos because I get to find some new boys to check out. It's a girl. I thought it was a boy. Dang it, I lost it. Jorja Alice Smith, born 11th of June 1997, making her 22 years old, is an English singer and songwriter from Walsall, West Midlands. She has released several singles since January 2016 and collaborated with other artists including Drake, Kendrick Lamar. I want to collab with all of people. Drake, come on. She released a single called Blue Lights that got 400,000 plays on SoundCloud in a month. And her second single was singled out by Drake as his favorite track of the moment in Entertainment Weekly in July. Whoa, I wonder how he found it. I feel like 400,000 plays or whatever would not make Drake notice me. Let's see what happens if you search for Jorja Smith Autotune. Jorja Smith has a voice that could heal the world. Let's see about that. Let's watch her with and without Autotune. Let's go.
How could we know that there wouldn't be tomorrow? How could we know that there wouldn't be tomorrow?
I'm not sure if I think that her voice is healing the world so far, but it's pretty good. Let's keep listening.
But the bells will ring for you. But the bells will ring for you.
I was impressed with how on point that was actually. That was some pretty hard, like flipping into falsetto and kind of going back type stuff. And she was on point with the pitch of that. I'm impressed.
Trying to figure out how this is real, 'cause they're never coming back down. Trying to figure out how this is real, 'cause they're never coming back down.
It's pretty fine, but I think she's actually a little bit pitchy. I don't feel like she's healing the world with it. It's also Genius interview. Like I always say, no one goes into the Genius interview like, oh, I'm gonna warm up my voice because it's time for the Genius interview where I gotta sing the best in the world. They're talking about their lyrics. This is something that would be scheduled the day after a concert or something, or before a concert, like, and they don't care. Like any other interview, but they're being made to sing.
They belong to the stars in the cloud. They belong to the stars in the cloud.
That's pretty nice. I like that. Oh, here we go with the big boy. I don't know anything about Sheeran. Who's that boy? Edward Christopher Sheeran. MBE. What does that mean? Oh, he got like a medal from the British Queen or whatever? Okay. Born 17th of February 1991, making him 28 years old. He's an English singer, songwriter, guitarist, record producer, and actor. Sheeran has sold more than 150 million records worldwide, making him one of the world's best-selling music artists. His classmates described him back in 2004 as most likely to be famous. So I guess it was obvious from an early age. Must have had some swagger to him. Sheeran began to be seen by more people over the internet through YouTube, and his fan base grew, with him also receiving praise from the Independent newspaper and Elton John. Okay, let's watch.
When I was 6 years old, I broke my leg. And I was running from my brother and his friends. When I was 6 years old, I broke my leg. I was running from my brother and his friends.
I think that sounded fine. He's playing guitar at the same time too, and it's really on pitch. He's such just like a gifted performer with a guitar. I know he did a lot of busking. He's definitely had his man hours of doing a lot of practicing performing.
And tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down. And tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down.
He's not as perfect on pitch as in the produced version. That is because they do use tuning on Ed Sheeran. Basically everyone uses Autotune, guys. It doesn't matter. And he actually had one song, I'm a Mess. So here, if you've ever used Melodyne, and especially if you pulled notes with a lot of air on them in Melodyne, you will hear that there's some Melodyne artifacts on it. Melodyne is a lot like Autotune, but it's more like, it's what you use if you don't want it to be obvious that you're using any tuning. Listen to the start here.
Oh, I'm a mess right now. Inside out.
There. So something that they did there on Inside Out is they pulled the S as well, which is something you're supposed to avoid when you use Melodyne. Basically, they pitched the S. I can't believe they let this through into the final album because it's crazy. Listen to Inside Out once again and you'll hear that there's weird stuff going on.
Inside out.
Standards have come to a point where people expect it to be absolutely digitally perfect. We've all become cyborgs. We all need the Autotune.
I'm on my way. Driving at 90 down those country lanes. Singing to Tiny Dancer. I'm on my way.
He struggled a little bit with a ta in Tiny Dancer. Was a little bit pitchy, didn't really hit where he wanted to with it. But that's the thing about Ed Sheeran though, like even when he does mess up or something, I always feel like he recovers almost immediately. And I'm pretty sure that the next phrase will sound amazing.
Miss the way you make me feel. It's real when we watch the sunset over the castle lonely at night. Miss the way you make me feel. And it's real when we watch the sunset over the castle on the hill.
Yeah, that's the thing about Ed Sheeran. He can kind of like miss a note or two, but he just always finds his way back. And oh my god, some of those notes in the end there were so on point. Like, sounded so good. Tone was great. Perfectly on the note. It's a difficult melody, pretty high up in the registry, but he does it really well. That is the end of this very video about singers with and without autotune. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, these are just like one live performance of someone, like in a Genius interview or whatever in a studio. This is probably not any of these singers' best performances ever. I doubt it, but it's always fun to compare. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Take care and be feisty. I will see you in the next video. Bye. A massive thanks to my top patrons: Christian Gabrielson, hashtag Vicky the Uwu, Matthew Barzik, Kian Wang, Vicky ran out of clever names, Ali Engdahl, Batoon, Captain Dramerica, Nina Fairvag, Chelsea, and Oh My Luca. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks.